Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another set of nails, and this time we'll be doing a fill. So she had this set on for about a month, and now we're just going back and doing a fill. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove her polish, and this is a gel, or actually I did a gel top coat on this set, and I'm using a medium grit drill bit. So I got this off of eBay, and I do have the fine drill bits as well as the safety fine drill bits on my website, so I'll leave the link in the description. But once again, this is a medium drill bit. So after we do this, we're gonna take off those stones with some nippers, and then we're gonna do the other hand as well. So whenever you're removing the gel, it's basically like you're just filing the nail all over. As you can see, I literally just file it away. I know people have said that they were having a problem with it. The only thing you can do is get a drill bit that's a little bit more coarse. That's why I went up from the fine to the medium one, because I did feel like it was taking me a bit longer to take it off with the fine drill bit. But once again, this is a medium drill bit, and as you can see, it comes off really fast. And here I'm taking off the bling with the nippers. As you can see, they stay on pretty good. She was only missing a couple. And then same thing, just removing the rest of that gel polish. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna go in with this pink cuticle pusher by Tammy Taylor, and then I'm going to go in with my sanding bit, and here we're just removing the shine from the natural nail. Remember, if you don't do this part really good, you will have lifting. I believe about 80 to 85% of your lifting comes from not prepping your nail really good. So you literally just want to remove that shine from the natural nail. And I am using a 180 sanding bit. And you could also just do this with the regular hand file. You don't have to use a drill, but you do want to be careful when using a drill that you don't file too hard, because you don't want to leave a little ring of fire on your nail. So once again, you just literally want to remove the shine off the natural nail. Then we're going to go in with a primer. Alrighty, so before I start applying the primer, I forgot that I have to go back in and apply a new tip to the nail that she broke. After we apply the tip, we're going to cut it down to the length of the other nail, and we're going to shape it. So to shape it, I'm using my nail files that I have on my website. So once again, I'll leave the link in the description, and we're just going to shape it to the same coffin shape that she already has. Then we're going to go in and apply a primer. You want to make sure that before you apply a primer, you dust your nails off really good, because you don't want any dust on the nail bed, because that will cause lifting as well. Alrighty, and I am using my OPI primer, and for my acrylic, I'll be using my Mia Secret acrylic system, which is the pink powder, and my Mia Secret liquid. So I'm using my OPI acrylic brush, and I also wanted to mention that I did get some brushes from Alpha Brushes. They did reach out to me, and they sent me a couple of samples. So I will be doing a video on that pretty soon, and I'm pretty excited about trying them. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and use my OPI ones, because this is an old video, as you can see by my nails. So at this time, I hadn't had them yet. But yes, we're going to do a bead right in the middle wherever the natural nail and the tip meet, and then we're just gonna add. Remember, you don't have to stick to this method. If you want to do a one ball method, that's fine. Everybody has their own way of doing nails. This is what works for me, so just remember that. That's just a little tip. You don't have to do it just like I do it, just whatever works for you. So once again, whenever you're doing acrylics, you want to make sure that you don't put the acrylic really close to the cuticle area, because that will cause lifting. And also, you want to make sure that you have the right amount of liquid and powder, which I will be doing a video on that pretty soon. As you can see, I wipe off the acrylic right before it even touches the skin. I know I've seen people that they wait till the acrylic is on the skin and then they go back and wipe it off. So you want to make sure you catch that before, so then you don't have any lifting. And remember, you want to just add as you need it. If it only takes one ball for you to fill in their nails, then that's fine. But remember to look at the nail from different angles, because if you just look at it from the top, it might look like it's good, but if you look at it from the side, you might have a little like a little bump or something you have to go back and fill in. So remember to go back and look at it as you're working, so you're not just kind of working blindly. Just keep looking at your work, look at it from different angles, and go back and fix anything, because remember, you want to work smarter and not harder. You don't want to have to do a whole bunch of filing at the end. So as you can see, I'm just applying a bead closer to the cuticle area when I'm doing a fill, and then I brush it down towards the tip, and I just keep adding until I get that good apex. And the apex is basically where the nail gets its strength from. If your nail was to break and you don't have, or if your nail was about to break and you don't have a good apex, if your nail's really flat, most likely it's going to break. So you want to make sure that you have a nice apex, and you do that by applying that bead right in the middle of like the tip and the back closer to the cuticle area. You want to make sure you have that little arch, because I personally don't even like just flat nails. I know a lot of people in the shops do that, where they just put a little amount of acrylic and then the nails turn out to be really flat. I like to see that arch in my nail. So once again, it all depends on your personal preferences. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go in and reshape the nail. She already has that coffin shape, but we're just going to redefine that shape. And I am using my nail files, which I have on my website. So once again, I'll leave the link in the description. And after you reshape the nails, we're going to go in with our fine drill bit, and I do have these on my website, so check it out. So as you can see, I focus mainly on that cuticle area, and then I do like go back and file the rest of the nail just to make sure that it's nice and smooth. But as you can see, I focus mainly on that cuticle area. You don't want to have any little gaps back there, because any water, moisture, just anything that gets in your nail will cause your nail to lift, and it could also cause your nail to get one of the little green spots. So we don't want that, so you want to make sure you file really good. As you can see, I like to start from one side of that cuticle area to the other, and I kind of just keep my drill moving all the time. You don't want to stay in one spot for too long, because it will cause friction, which will cause your client's nail to burn. So you want to be careful with that. So remember, keep moving, or keep your drill moving, and don't stay in one spot too long, and file around that cuticle area really good. And remember, if you work smarter and not harder during your acrylic application, you won't have that much work to do. You just want to make sure you get the cuticle area really good. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna go in and buff all her nails. And whenever you're buffing, you're just getting rid of any little scratches or anything that was left from when you were filing. So you want to make sure you file really good, because if you leave any little scratches, it will show through your polish. So you want to make sure that those nails are nice and smooth. Alrighty, so we're gonna dust them off, and I'm gonna wipe them off, and then we're gonna apply our polish. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with this OPI gel polish in the color Bubble Bath, and it's a really pretty pink. I was looking for a pink like this for the longest, not knowing that I had it in my closet. So once again, this is Bubble Bath by OPI, and we're going to do this on all her nails, and we're going to cure each hand for 30 seconds, and we're going to come back and do a second coat. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna cut up some of this angel foil, and I do have this on my website, so I'm just cutting them into little strips. I'm gonna apply a gel top coat, that way they kind of just like sink into the gel polish instead of having to use glue. And I'm just gonna wet my little brush that I use to clean around the cuticle area, and the angel paper will stick right onto the brush, and then they'll go right onto the nail really easily. And whenever you set them down, you kind of want to make sure you press them down to where they sink into the gel polish, and then we're gonna let that cure for about 60 seconds. So I'm also going to go ahead and apply a gel top coat on those nails that I'm going to be applying some chrome on. So then we're going to let them cure for 60 seconds. So same thing for the other hand. We're going to cut up the little angel foils into little tiny strips. We're going to lay them on her pinky over gel polish or gel top coat. And then we're also going to go ahead and apply the gel top coat on the nails that will have the chrome on them. And we're going to let that cure for 60 seconds as well. Alrighty, so this is the same holographic chrome that I have on my website, so I will be leaving the link in the description. So as you can see, I'm just applying it with a little makeup wedge sponge, and I'm doing an ombre, so I'm just doing like the tip of the nail, and then as I get closer up to like the middle of the nail, I kind of just gently dab it on to where it just kind of blend. So now I'm going to be doing one of the little unicorn nails. So I'm using this Tammy Taylor builder gel, and I'm using my small nail art brush to just kind of like draw a line, but you want to kind of wiggle it around to where it's not just a line straight across. It kind of has a curve to it. And then we're going to cure this for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so same thing for the other hand. We're using my little nail art brush and my gel by Tammy Taylor, and as you can see, I kind of just make the little curve. I don't really know how to explain it, but I know a lot of people like to do it with acrylic too. I feel like this way is way easier and it's less work because I don't have to go back and do any filing at all. So this works really good for me. So after we do this, we're gonna let them cure for 60 seconds, and we're gonna go back to the other hand. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go back in and apply a gel top coat to this unicorn nail because I will be doing a chrome on it as well. And remember, when you're doing chrome, you want to make sure that your gel top coat is a non-cleanse, because if not, it would not work. So as you can see, I'm kind of applying the top coat in the direction of my lines. That way, I don't want to fill in the little like ridges, because then it'll take away that unicorn effect. So you make sure you apply that top coat in the direction that your lines are going. And then we're going to cure those for 60 seconds, and we're going to go back and apply the chrome. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and apply a top coat on the pinkies because I want to basically encapsulate the little strips into the nail, because remember, if you don't do this correctly, they will come off easily. So now I'm going to go back in and apply that chrome on this unicorn nail. You want to make sure you get in the little ridges really good, and then we're going to go back and apply a top coat to this one as well, and we're going to cure them for another 60 seconds. Alrighty, and since I had to go back and do 3 layers of top coat on this pinky, which was the first layer to put my strips on, and then another layer, and then I had to do another layer, that way they're encapsulated in the nail really good. So I went back and filed the shape, or basically like redefined that shape, that way it doesn't look funny compared to the other ones, because after applying so many coats of top coat, it kind of rounds off the corners. And now I'm going to just go ahead and apply a top coat to the rest of the nails, and we're going to let those cure for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and draw a little design on her middle finger. So right now I'm using my Pure White by La Palm, and I'm using my nail art brush, but it was easier for me to do it with a longer brush, so I brought out my nail art paint by Broadway, which you can find at Dollar General. Since the little brush is longer, it's just easier for me to make those lines. And this design was inspired by one of my other nails that I had done before, so that's where we got this from. But yeah, we're just basically drawing a whole bunch of little lines, and then we're gonna go back and add a top coat once this is dry. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to apply my clear pineapple cuticle oil, which I do have on my website if anybody is interested. And this is the final look. So they turned out really pretty. That bubble bath by OPI is just beautiful. So I hope everybody enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook at GetNailed32, and stay tuned for more videos to come.